Good day, everyone. Today is Sunday, May 18th, 2019, and it is a long weekend here in Canada, Victoria Day long weekend. But I like to think of it more as a day for the people. I think we should rename it to Canadian Patriots Day, something more relevant anyway than Queen Victoria. But anyway, here's what it looked like outside my door here in central Ontario today. It's been an extremely cold spring here in Ontario. I'll go out on a limb and say it's been the coldest spring I've ever seen in my 54 years here in Canada. It's been far below seasonal average temperatures. It's been very cold and damp and raining every day. We've had wet snow at night, nowhere near where the temperatures should be for this time of year. The leaves should be out by now, and they're just starting to come out by now. There should be black flies and all those other things should be out in full swing now, but they haven't even started yet because it's been so cold. So I have to report once again, no signs of global warming whatsoever here in central Ontario, and that's my unbiased opinion of just witnessing the weather here for 54 straight winters in a row. They have not changed a bit. They're just as cold, just as long, and just as snowy. In fact, I think they're getting colder and longer. So all this climate change hysteria needs to stop. It's a scam to control people, to control humanity. And this carbon tax that the Canadian government, that Tru-d3au's put on Canada, on Canadians, it's making the cost of living go through the roof. It's just incredibly hard here to survive in Canada for average people now, and it's only going to get worse. But once again, I haven't made a video for a while. I've been really busy, and my internet's been really slow. But there's just so much going on in the world and in Canada. Once again, I have to remind people to please take an interest and get out and fight for your country and fight for your rights before they're lost forever, because they're under assault daily now. They're not even shy to take away our rights anymore. They're blatant about it. They're open about it. This article, I'm sure most of you probably already know about this. Trudeau just met with all the other world dictators in France. They want to come up with a new plan to censor the internet and take down anything that the governments don't agree with, anything that puts the governments in a bad light. As I've already mentioned before, most of the Patriots, we already know that Justin Trudeau has recently agreed to bribe the already corrupt Canadian mainstream media with $680 million of taxpayer money to go to government-approved news agencies for favorable coverage for the government. Let's be honest, that's what it is. It's payola. It's just incredible that this is happening in Canada. I'm ashamed of our government. I'm ashamed of Trudeau, and I'm ashamed of people that are going along with these policies of censorship. It's an insult to Canadians. It's an insult to people that fought and struggled for this country, that fought and struggled for liberty, believed that this country stood for liberty and justice and free speech, and we stood against dictators, communist dictators. That's what, with a lie that we were told all of our lives. That's the lie. I'm in my 50s, and that's what we were told here in Canada, that we stood against oppression, stood against dictators. That's what we went to war for, we were told. And now Trudeau is taking us down the same path as these dictators. When he was running for Prime Minister, he said he admired communist China, and man, he was not kidding. He's taking us down a path like China. When you read some of his statements about internet censorship, you'd swear it was a Chinese government official talking. It's disgusting. I'm ashamed of Trudeau. I'm ashamed of you. You're a disgrace to Canadians. You're a disgrace to people that fought and struggled for this country. So again, I'm sure most of the Canadian Patriots, we've been trying to warn people for years, but it's the Canadians that don't want to take an interest. They're just self-centered, worried about their own lives, and just worried about having a good time. And they're going to lose it all. All of it's slipping away. This country is slipping away, and it's slipping away at an incredibly alarming pace. I'm in my 50s, and I've watched and followed news and politics my entire life, and the pace at which our rights and freedoms are being stripped is just frightening. The pace at which the world is being taken over by these communist dictators. It's happening all around the world. Gemma Doherty, I follow her from Ireland. she's documenting all the same crimes that are happening in Ireland, that are happening here. So, you know what they say, there's no such thing as coincidence, that all the same things are happening in all these different countries around the world, all through Europe, Ireland, England, are being swarmed with mass migration, and we're being told that we can't speak up, and censorship is the new rule of thumb for these leftist liberal dictators, and they want to censor the people and silence us. But anyway, you know, I'm just one guy. I'm one guy who loves my country. My only agenda is I love my country. I love freedom. I love liberty. My family fought for it, as many Canadians did. And I'm going to fight until my last breath. And all I can do is try